Know your rights. Secure your contract. Secure your employment. You are protected under the Employment Ordinance if you have worked under the same employer for 4 consecutive weeks. You are employed under a continuous contract. You work at least 18 hours per week for an employer. Firstly, to avoid contractual disputes, you should always have your contract in writing.
I only got paid $6,000 when he promised me $8,000.
That is not what I promised.
With a written contract, your employer is obligated to secure your interests. Secondly, know what should be included in your contract of employment. Check for the following items in your contract. Wages, including wage rate, wage period, overtime rate, additional allowance. Length of notice to terminate the contract. And lastly, any end-of-year payment, including bonuses such as double pay. Thirdly, find out what your status of employment is. Which one are you, an employee, a contractor, or a self-employed person? Because you are entitled to certain benefits only if you are an employee. There are 3 questions you can ask yourself to find out if you are protected under the Employment Ordinance. Do you have independent control on how the work is carried out? Do you feel integrated into your employment organization? To what extent are you operating on your own account independently? For example, if you are a construction worker, do you own the work equipment, materials, and tools? Do you invest in your business? Do you bear any financial risk? Do you have management responsibilities? Do you have control of work hours and work procedures? Are you able to hire helpers for your work? If your answers to most of those questions is yes, you are likely to be self-employed instead of an employee. Fourthly, it is also important to clarify if you have any probationary periods. What is a probationary period? It is a clause in your contract that will tell you if you can be terminated without notice within a certain period of your employment.
Sorry, I have to end your employment.
That's not fair. I've been working here for 10 days already. You can't fire me.
No, your contract had a probationary period of 14 days, so I can dismiss you now.
You must clarify your probationary period. Here, both the employer and the employee have the right to end the employment contract without giving notice within the employee's probation period. Lastly, make sure to secure your benefits. Remember, you are only entitled to these benefits if you are an employee, not if you are self-employed or an independent contractor. If you are an employee, you are entitled to these benefits under the Employment Ordinance. Insurance. Paid annual leave. Sickness allowance. Severance payment, which is the amount an employer is legally required to pay you if your contract is terminated early. Statutory holiday pay. Statutory minimum wage. Long service payment. And eligibility for the Monetary Provident Fund, which is a compulsory retirement savings scheme for residents in Hong Kong. To summarize, 1. Make sure your contract is in writing. 2. Know what should be included in your contract of employment. 3. Know what your employment status is. 4. Clarify your probationary period. And 5. Secure your benefits.